Who's the better chess site? The all-powerful chess.com, with its expensive memberships for basic perks, or lichess.org, a free platform funded only by donations? The only way to settle this is with a chess match between the two to see who reigns supreme and crown the best chess site on the internet. So, let's get into it.
All right, Lichess. Hope you're ready to be outplayed and outclassed. You may be free, but quality isn't cheap. I'm packing premium lessons, the world's top players and millions of loyal fans. I'll knock you out in just 3 moves.
Oh, chess.com. Still hiding behind your paywalls, huh? I guess when you have to charge for basic features, you need something to feel good about. My players don't need to pay for premium because skill is earned, not bought.
Anyway, let's get started. Lichess.org played as white, while the cocky chess.com took black. The game began with pawn to d4, followed by knight to f6. We'll skip a few opening moves, as both sides played flawless openings at this level. Chess.com opted for the King's Indian, a bold choice against such a strong opponent. Lichess.org responded with the Semish variation of the King Indian defense, giving Lichess a slight advantage in the opening phase. Definitely a misstep from chess.com. This position is approximately plus 0.65 in favor of lichess.org. Next, chess.com pushed its pawn to d6, and Lichess responded by bringing out its pony. Feeling a bit pressured, chess.com decided to castle in this position. Lichess then played bishop to e3, and chess.com pushed its pawn in response. A few moves later, we can see the strong pyramid Lichess has built, taking full control of the center. However, chess.com's king looks well protected. They trade pieces in the center, and then chess.com pushes a pawn on the far left of the board. Lichess responds with pawn to g4, and chess.com plays knight to d7. This is a small inaccuracy from chess.com, as they overlooked an opportunity to attack white's pawn pyramid. After a few more moves, they decided to trade rooks on c1. In this position, chess.com is losing by about plus 1.55. While this may seem like a small margin, in the realm of super advanced chess at 3,000 plus ELO ratings, even a slight advantage could cost chess.com the game. Chess.com has all reason to be a bit scared. Next, we see the moves pawn to a5 and pawn to b3. They trade pawns on the right side, preparing to set up their endgame. Then, chess.com makes a strong move with rook to c8, aiming to capture white's queen. Lichess sidesteps, and chess.com makes yet another small mistake, boosting Lichess's lead to plus 2.55. Lichess moves back its knight, and chess.com does the same with its queen. Lichess then takes its pony for a ride up the chessboard, placing it on c4. They trade off a lot of pieces in the next few moves, and at this point, it doesn't look good for chess.com. Lichess moves its queen up the board to g7, and then chess.com makes a huge mistake. For some reason, it decides to trade its rook for a bishop on e2, gaining no positional advantage in return. Then, Lichess trades its knight and queen, settling into the endgame with a commanding plus 5.05 advantage over chess.com. In this position, Stockfish gives Lichess a 90% chance of winning, while chess.com has little hope left of turning the game around. Lichess takes the hanging knight on b7, a rookie error from chess.com. Chess.com responds with knight to d7, followed by knight to c5. Lichess then makes the obvious move to trade its bishop for a knight with bishop to c5. They race up the board, and chess.com plays king to c6. In this position, Lichess sees a crazy checkmate. I'll give you 5 seconds to see if you can spot it too. Did you see it? Well, I don't believe it, because not even Super Grandmaster Magnus would see this one coming. Lichess spots a crazy checkmate in just 18 moves. Wow. Now, let's speedrun the checkmate. It goes king to c4, then pawn to a6. Next, you play rook to a1, protecting your pawn. Then, move king to b5, and rook to d1, increasing the pressure. After that, rook to d7 delivers a check, forcing your opponent to move king to a8. Then, push your pawn to a 7, followed by king to a 6. Rook to c7, and finally rook to c8, delivering a wonderful checkmate and crushing Chess.com's hopes and dreams. As you can see, Lichess won the game with a significant lead. You might argue that this wasn't fair, and that Lichess had an advantage by playing as white. To level the playing field, I'm going to speedrun a second game where Chess.com plays as white, ensuring it wasn't just luck. In the opening phase, Lichess played the Reti opening, while white opted for the Reti Gambit declined, advance variation, an extremely high-level opening. By move 11, Chess.com had already blundered its queen on b5, giving Lichess an early lead. In the middle game, we saw an interesting strategy from Lichess, resembling the Great Wall of China with all its pawns lined up. This game was even worse than the first, with Lichess checkmating Chess.com in just 32 moves compared to 52 moves in the first game. Now I think we have a clear winner. Lichess is the victor, having proven itself by winning a game as both white and black.
All right, Lichess, you got lucky today. Winning both games? Impressive, but let's be real. I was just testing my limits. Don't get too comfortable. I'll be back to reclaim my throne soon. Game on.
Nice try, Chess.com. We came, we saw, we conquered. Twice. Today was a showcase of skill and strategy. But don't get too down. You'll need all that practice for our next showdown. See you on the board.
I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to check out my channel for more content like this.
Whatever.